I think we're also missing our fifth graders. All right. We have third grade. Is this all of third grade today? Yes? Do we have all of fourth grade today? We have our sixth and seventh graders. No, not all of fourth grade? Are some like hiding in the classroom? Wow, nice. It's you. Alrighty, my friends, we are going to begin with Hinei Matov. We did this melody a couple weeks ago, and we'll sing it together. Let's continue on Amud. Does anybody remember what the word Amud means? Page. Good job. Amud 28, Esrim Vishmona. Esrim Vishmona 28 with the Baruchu. Na lakum, please rise. Lashevet, please be seated. I would like to invite any of our 6th and 7th graders who would like to help lead us in Ma'ariv Aravim. You all are going to do Ve'ahavta. Yeah. So 6th and 7th graders, I would like you to come on up and help lead us in Ma'ariv Aravim.
Remember to do not shout into the microphone.
I do it every time.
All right. We are on Amud on page 30. You ready?
Yeah.
Baruch
Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher hibaros ma'ariv aravim bechokhmah poteach she'arim uvitbuna mishaneh itim umahalif et hazmanim umsader et hakochavim B'mishverotehem barakia kirtanu B'rei yom v'layla Golel or mipnei choshech V'choshech mipnei or Umahir yom u'mevi layla Umavdil bein yom u'bein layla Adonai Sebaot Shemo El Hai V'Kayam Tamid lo chalenu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'mariv aravim.
Yasher Koch and Todah Rabbah to our 6th and 7th graders. Nicely done. We are going to continue. Does anybody remember? I taught the word for continue maybe on Sunday. Anybody remember the word for continue? Anachnu mamshichim. Mamshichim is the word for continue, so we will mamshichim continue on page 34 with the Shema Na Lakum. Shevet, and I would like to invite our 4th graders up to lead us in Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol nahal v'chol sheha u'bechol me'odeha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ela tam levaneha, bedibartam bam, beshineha leiteha, uleteha hadere, usholeha ufuneha, ushartam leo taliadeha, vehayu etotafot beineneha, ufartam alizizo pleiteha, uvi shareha, liman tiskeru, abasitem etomitzotai, ilitem kedoshim lelolehem, ani Adonai Eloheim, asher motzeiti etem meretz Mitzrayim, liot lahem lelohim, ani Adonai Eloheim.
Yasher Koch and Toda Rabbah to our fourth grade for leading us in Ve'ahavta. That was beautiful. We are going to continue Anachnu Mamshichim with Micha Mocha, which is on page 40. Page 40. Everybody there? Beautiful. And would our fifth grade like to help lead us in the Avot V'Imahot? I think you all probably could. Fifth grade, come up and join us. We begin on Amud 46, on page 46. Na lakum, please rise. Ready?
Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Ufi Agita Hilateha Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Ufi Agita Hilateha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Ve'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanorah El
please take a seat. So, I thought that today might be a fun day to start doing a little bit of Ask the Rabbi. So, we haven't done that since last year. So I thought we would do a little bit of Ask the Rabbi. Anybody have a question for the rabbi? Yeah, Ari. What? That is a great question, right? What do you think the answer is?
I'm on the fence because, like, you can't get a tattoo, but a lot of Jews do have very ears.
So that's a great question. The differing opinions comes from the fact that there's a commandment that tells us that we shouldn't alter our bodies in any way. We shouldn't impermanently alter our bodies. Now that means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So sometimes that means it's okay to get your ears pierced, and sometimes it means it's not. Sometimes it means it's okay to get a tattoo, and sometimes it means it's not. It depends on your interpretation of it. Now, I will tell you, I have my ears pierced. I've had them pierced since I was 2, so for a really long time in my life, right? And I happen to think that it's okay, but more importantly is the conversation that we have with our families and our parents to talk about what we are comfortable with in each of our families and what we're not comfortable with, and that's where the conversation really comes into play. Who else has a really good question, Ari? Thank you. Another question? Esther. I bribed our 6th and 7th graders to practice Elu Devarim, and and in return I gave them candy. It won't happen every week because then it's got to be a surprise. So it'll happen sometimes, but not every time.
I'm going to 6th grade.
Okay, when you come to 6th grade, sometimes it'll happen and sometimes it won't. Anybody? Yep, Sophia.
Do you guys, or do teachers and rabbis have to go to some kind of school to learn how to do their job?
That is a great question. Do teachers and rabbis have to go to school to learn how to do their jobs? Well, our different teachers have different experiences, and in our school, in terms of our teachers, it's much more important about what they come wanting to bring to the class. So everybody has a little bit different experience when it comes to education. Now, to be a rabbi like myself or to be an educator like Marla, we do have to go to special school for that. So I went to after high school, I went to 4 years of college, and then I went to 5 years of rabbinical school. So it's a long time. You have to really be willing to commit yourself if you want to be a rabbi or a cantor or a Jewish educator, because it's a lot of time in school, and it is definitely worth the time. And they teach us most of the things that we need to know, and then a lot of the things we learn by having people ask us questions, and we say, that's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. Let's go figure it out. And we learn that way also.
Rabbi, we have a question over here.
Yeah.
A really interesting question. So, we were having a conversation about that some of our prayers come directly from Torah. And so we can find them both in our blue Sidurim and in our red Torah commentaries. And some prayers don't come from Torah, they come from other sources. So, I have some third grade friends here who are wondering, where do some of the other prayers come from?
That's a great question. So ones that don't come from Torah, sometimes they come from other teachings, other texts that we have. Has anybody ever heard the words Mishnah or Talmud? Anybody familiar with some of those words? Right, so those are commentaries on the Torah and commentaries on the Torah, right? And sometimes our prayers come from there. And sometimes actually our prayers come from just particular people who wrote a prayer, and it started as a personal prayer, something that they said themselves. And then over time, it was like if I wrote a prayer and I said it, and then Judith was like, that's the most awesome prayer I've ever heard. And then Olivia was like, yeah, I love that prayer too. And then everybody else caught on and said, like, this is a great prayer. And everybody keeps saying it to the point where it becomes regular because everybody keeps saying it. And so then they decided, well, we should probably include this in our prayer book. So sometimes prayers come from that. So there are a lot of different places where our prayers come from. And there are always new prayers being written, right? So all of you have the ability to write your own prayers. And all of you can write your own prayers if you want to. Yeah. Why does the Torah not have vowels? That is a great question. Why do you think the Torah doesn't have vowels? You didn't think I was going to turn that around on you, did you? So it's a hard question. Anybody else have a guess why our Torah doesn't have vowels? And no, it has nothing to do with making it harder for you. Yeah. Yeah, Brandon.
The vowels were added after the was made.
Yeah, right. So Daniel, do you have a guess also?
It's too much work.
It's too much work. All the extra writing to put in all the dots and lines, right? So, yep. Okay, but hold on to that. I'll come back to your second question, okay? So, why do we not have vowels in the Torah? Because when Hebrew was being created, there actually weren't vowels. There weren't vowels originally, and then eventually, later on, some people came through and were like, hold up, it is really hard to read this without vowels. We need to put vowels in because not everybody's going to be able to read it fluently otherwise. So they came in and they created the vowels so that we could read it. But our Torah, since it's still the original, doesn't have vowels in it.
So, how do people read from the Torah if they haven't memorized it and there's no vowels?
Well, so what you'll find out, or what you may already know if you have Israeli family or friends, is that Israelis and native speakers actually don't read with vowels. Vowels are there as a reading tool for us, to help us read. But there are all sorts of context clues when you see the letters without the vowels that tell you how to pronounce it. And when you spend enough time reading Hebrew, it allows you to learn, I'm going to, excuse me, sneeze, Todah. It allows you to learn those context clues so that you know how to read it. Right? So it takes a lot of practice. I will tell you that when I read Torah and I'm reading it without vowels and I haven't practiced, I don't always get it right. And I struggle with it sometimes, right? So it's a skill and that's why we always have to practice it a lot. And I definitely practice it. Yeah, Sawyer. How long have I been a rabbi? Anybody have a guess how long I've been a rabbi? I'm curious to know. Let's see. How long do you think?
4 years.
4 years? What do you think, Daniel? 12 years, Pearson? 7? 6? 4? 8? 4? 2? 3? 5?
I think this is your first year as a rabbi.
My first year, okay. 9, is that what, Lexi, did you say 9? 9, okay, Ari? So here's the question. So I've been here, this is my second year here, but I have been a rabbi since 2016. So who's really good at math that can tell me how many years that is? How many years is it? Shout it out. 6 years, yeah. So anybody? Yep, right? It's actually, because our calendar is weird when we start, yes, who just said it was 7? Who did that math really well? Yeah, Beth, right? So because when we are ordained and when we start is a little bit off of most calendars, I actually am technically just started my 7th year. So it's hard to believe, but depending on how you do the math, but really I have been a rabbi for 6 years and I just started my 7th year. So if you guessed 6 or 7, you got it right. Beautiful. These are some really great questions. We'll do this again and again, so keep holding on to those questions if you have questions. And we're going to close. A couple of weeks ago, our 4th graders were studying Etz Chaim Hi, a tree of life, and they had specially requested that we sing the song, and I promise I didn't forget about it. Just took us a few weeks to get to it. So we're going to end with a tree of life, which I think you all know, right? You all know how to do the clapping that goes with it? Yes? Okay. It is a tree of life to those who have passed through it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who have passed through it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom. Erev Tov, everyone. Do we have any announcements before? Okay, let's make sure to put our Sederim away, please, and we will see you all on Sunday.